Yo, what's good? This is Saint Joe here with Synth Immaculate 7. I just want to do a quick video to kind of give you an idea of what you get, how it's organized, and how you can use it. So first, let's just take a look at the folder. And the whole concept behind Synth Immaculate is to give you actual samples that you can put into whatever sampler you want. So the first folder you're going to see is the All Samples folder, and it just has every instrument organized by folder. So if you want samples from the analog rhythm, you can go directly to those, the B Model D, JX3P, Minibrute 2, Multi-Trak, and then inside of there, you'll see all the samples. And you can see all the samples have the actual notes that were sampled, so you can easily take them into your favorite sampler, lay them across the keyboard, and make your own multi-sample instruments. But there's also a Live 10 format and Maschine format, so let's kind of take a look at those. So inside of Maschine, you can still just go directly to your browser, drag in the samples if you want to do that. Like, Maschine just maps it automatically across the keys. So if you wanted to go into a sample and just quickly drag it in, you can do that. Let's say we take this one. So now it's automatically mapped, of course. You can go over, change it to ADSR. So you can do that, or you can map the individual samples and spread them across the keys and stuff like that. But if you just want to quickly play a patch, it's set up for that as well. So let's just reset this. Now, what you could do is just go directly to the instrument files or the group files and pull it up. But if you do that, you may get a missing sample, the missing sample dialog, and you just have to browse to the sample and actually show it where it's at. And then once you do that, it'll remember. But if you don't want to even deal with that, you can actually import this using an alias. So if we go here to preferences, we go to library, user, and we want to add this folder. So we go add, we browse to wherever this is on our computer. Inside of that Synth Immaculate 7 folder, there's a Maschine format folder. That's the one you want to highlight. Click OK. And where it says alias, you just put SI7. Make sure it's all caps. And then just do a rescan. And now if you just want to pull up the patches quickly, they'll be under your user section. So if you go over here, say groups, you can see Synth Immaculate 7. So if you want to play all the analog rhythm patches really quickly, you can pull that up, and then you can see them all on the pad. Same thing with all of the other ones, and you won't have to worry about the missing sample dialog. That's if you want to use these patches. Now, if you just want to make your own, you can just drag the samples as normal. Also, if you come over here under sounds, same thing. You can just see all the sounds here. You can just go through and pull those up. Like I said, so it just depends on how you want to work. If you want to drag in the samples and map them yourself and come up with your own patches, you can do that. If you want to use the pre-made patches, you can do that as well. And you can just import it into Maschine using that alias, and you won't have to worry about missing samples. Also, the samples show up obviously over here, and they're organized by each individual instrument. So you can just go directly to those samples and drag them in if you want to do that. So just depends on how you want to work. There's also a Live 10 format. So let's take a look at that. All right, so now we're in Live 10. You can see Synth Immaculate 7 right there. That's the folder. I just added it over here. You can see Live 10 format. And inside of there, there's a project. There's a project for Maschine as well. If you want to just load up all the patches in either one, you can do that. So let's just do it in here so you can see what that looks like. All right, so you can see that they're in group tracks, and each group track is dedicated to an individual instrument. So B Model D right here. And of course, you can go and play any of the other ones. All you got to do is just expand it, and you're pretty much good to go. Just a really quick way to audition the sounds. And as you can see, they're all inside of samplers. So you can do that, or we can just go and load individual sounds. So let's do this. I'm going to delete these. So say you don't want to load the whole session. You just want to load individual sounds. Let's say I want something from Minibrute 2. I can just go directly in there, pull that up, and you're pretty much good to go. Also, if you don't want to load the pre-made patches, you still have access to all the samples, so you can just do it yourself. Let's say we just want to load up a simpler. We'll get rid of that. Go back down here, and let's say we want to go to all samples, because if you notice inside the Live 10 format, since they're using simpler, the samples are just individual note, like usually a a C note, C1, C2, a C3, C4, depending on what type of sound it is. But if you want access to all of the samples, you can just go to the all samples folder and pull in whatever sample you want. Of course, you can throw this inside a sampler as well, or anything else that you want to throw it inside a wavetable, whatever you want to throw it in. But all the samples are there. So if you don't want to use the patches, you can do that. And we can say, I think I want to do a C3 here. Then you can go in and do whatever you want to do with the controls, add maybe some LFO or something. Whatever it is that you want to do inside of Live, you can do that. So yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea of how Synth Immaculate 7 is set up and how you can use it, different ways that you may use it or that it may fit into your workflow. The library is just organized to fit however you choose to work, whether you just want to grab the samples and throw them into your favorite sampler, or whether you want to open up inside of Live 10 or a Maschine and just quickly preview patches. Whatever you want to do, it's there for you. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Hand me that aux cord.